You are watching The Voice of the Heroes with Debbie Mae West.
What's good, everybody? It's the one and only one, Fleetboy Jetson. And if you're tuning in for the first time, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, click that notification bell if you want to hear more interviews and discussions from your favorite heroes and villains around the world. You are now listening to the #1 anime podcast in the world, Voice of the Heroes. And today we have a very special guest. Marie Westbrook is in the building. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good, good. So happy to be here. I love
Great.
that
So
setup back
tell
there,
us
by
a
the way.
little about yourself. How did you, get into acting and what inspired you to be an actor?
Oh my gosh. It's a long story kind of. I did not even really consider acting. I grew up in a small town in Idaho.
Oh, okay.
And, I did other things, dance and, things like that, but acting wasn't really, obviously there was there was the local theater, which we kind of did at the school and stuff like that. But it wasn't until just before college that this whole sort of the opportunity came my way. And I got into the whole acting and modeling world. And I'm 5'3", and I'm just modeling wasn't really my forte, and but I really enjoyed the acting component. And
Mhm.
so I sort of pursued that, but at the same time went back to school, finished my degree in physics and chemistry education and taught school for a year. But then I really just kind of, it was in the back of my mind, I really wanted to keep pursuing that. So I did, and I was doing on camera for a while, and then I got a voiceover audition and from my on-camera agent, and it was for Nintendo and Nintendogs years ago.
Mm.
And I remember thinking, what am I doing with this? I'm never going to book this. Why am I taking it? Because I had to find somebody to record it for me. I had to get a CD. This is how long ago it was. I had to take it into my agent's office, drive it over there, drop it off. And I thought, oh my gosh. And I was moving to LA. This is up in Seattle, actually. I was moving to LA shortly after that. And then I ended up booking it. So, and then I moved to LA, and something similar happened with my my LA agent. They sent me a voiceover audition for Star Wars: The Old Republic video
Oh,
game, and I
great.
booked that. I think to all of our shock, I think my agent was, he's like, so maybe you should get a voiceover agent. And then over time, I stopped doing on camera because I just really love the voiceover community. I love what I get to do so much, and I just wanted to put my energy there. And so I've been doing it full time ever since. For like, I'd say I've been doing it full time for 12 years now.
Oh man, great job. So let me ask you a question, right? You say you did a
Yeah.
lot of on work in front of the camera before going behind it with the voice acting. What do you think is the biggest difference between on camera and voice acting?
On camera, you are able to, show other emotions in your body, in your face, in your movement. And with voiceover, you have to contain all of that and show it in your voice, the little subtleties, right? You can hear a smile. You can hear when you're starting to get choked up, but to be able to emote
True.
those things, or when you're maybe a little bit sad, but you're trying to hold back, all of those things, just with the voice is a different thing. I definitely am an advocate for having the on-camera experience because it
Before voice acting?
absolutely lends itself to voice acting. Yeah.
Mm. All right, so you played in a lot of great animes like we discussed off camera. JJK, Bleach, the Netflix original, Cyberpunk, which won Anime of the Year.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of any of the source material or any of the material? Like, do you go back and watch your performances?
Yeah, I definitely go back and watch, but I will so what got me into anime really was my niece. I have actually a few nieces and nephews, right? And my nephew and a few nieces that are super into it. And one niece in particular that just at the time, she wanted that to be reality. She was having a hard time with life. And I just thought, that would be really fun way to be able to connect with her because I was interested in, right? I'd seen some anime and I'd had other friends and I thought it looked like for me, it's about the character work, right? Just getting to play these characters was so much fun for me as an actor. So that's when I sort of started pursuing that. But it wasn't something where I grew up or was a big fan of all of it. I know there are a lot of people that start out, they are anime fans and then they want to get into voiceover. I got into voiceover first and then got my way into this genre as well as other other genres as well. But I feel so lucky because I had no idea what I was stepping into. For example, when I did the Hanami character, which was basically my first anime character. I did a small part in Bungo Stray Dogs 1, but the Hanami was a big, and I had no idea how big this would be, right? I had no idea how I had no idea how big the cyberpunk, series would be. We were all excited about it and we hoped and we were kind of feeling the energy, but nobody
both
can
of them.
predict that.
JJK blew everybody by storm the first season. Cyberpunk was something that came out of the blue and just swept everybody. I would like to see a Cyberpunk season 2. That goes on to my next question. Are there any of the characters that you would like to reprise your role as? Like maybe because I know, spoiler alert, but some of your characters did end up dying off. Would you like to come back in any of those animes as the same character or maybe a different character?
I mean, so I would love I've gotten to play some other parts in JJK, and I don't even know if I can talk about those yet. But nothing crazy, nothing like Hanami, nothing like that. But just being able to go in and lend my voice to another character in a different way, right? I super love that. But of course, I would love, in my mind, and talking to the director, we're thinking, well, is there a chance? I mean, they're cursed spirits. There's all sorts of crazy sorcery and things going on. Maybe Hanami or up in the afterlife, wherever they all were in the white kind of area, maybe they could come back. As far as Cyberpunk, we were all joking about this. We did a live stream. Our first thing. I don't know if you knew about that. We did it last week, where a bunch of us got together and answered questions and did some signings and things. And it was really fun for us to finally get together because we hadn't met before in person. And we all have joked, and we did a Q&A the week before that, and we'd all joked that it would be super cool, joked, but also serious, that it would be so cool to have kind of the pre-stories, the origin stories for our characters, right?
Origin, like a prequel.
Yeah.
I would be
awesome.
down for that. I would like to actually see that.
That would be awesome, because I feel like for Cyberpunk, anything after that is just a little bit, I don't know.
Yeah, it gets
who knows,
crazy.
but it seems a little far-fetched. But to do something in their life previous to that, I feel like.
Are there any lines from any of those characters that resonate with you in any way that you voiced?
I mean, I have some favorite lines. For Hanami, my favorite scene is right before one of the battles when all of the Hanami's roots stem out and it's, the planet can shine blue once more, given a bit of time without humans, please die and become sages. I don't know if you remember that, but it was so powerful.
Yeah, I remember.
And I loved, that's my favorite line. And the one and one of Dorio's fun lines, and it was actually something we talked about this last week, but I had to redo it over and over for timing, because as you know, with anime, it's already there and we have to, have our voices sync to everything. And it was the scene when she's shoving Maine in the back of that truck and she's like, be a good boy, stay. It was be a good boy and stay, but the and was supposed to be sort of light and stay. And I remember kind of acting out that kick with it and having to really get it. It ended up being really cool in the end, but we had to.
How difficult can that be trying to sync it sometimes? Can that be like pretty difficult?
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's not. It's not super crazy. It's just that it's all going the process is fast. So as an actor, you really, at least for me, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, I want to be able to do the best. I really want to, because when you're trying to fit a line that's been translated, so sometimes it's, and you're fitting it into maybe, and so you're having to have all these words to be able to fit all those mouth flaps from this other, the original language. It isn't sometimes supernatural. So you're trying to do it in a way that doesn't sound awkward or weird. Sometimes that's hard. You want to make it sound natural and not forced, and not that you're trying to fit a bunch of mouth flaps and they added a bunch of words, to make it look like it fits. So I think that's probably the biggest thing. But for anime versus live action, the dubbing's slightly different, because anime, I feel like you have a little more wiggle room, if that makes sense.
Nah, it makes perfect sense. So we already talked about JJK. We talked about, I would like to get your take on this, right? You played a character in Baki, I think with the same name, right?
Maria. It was
Yeah,
Maria.
Maria.
Yeah, close. Yeah.
How fun was that to play something probably totally opposite from who you are?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've been so lucky, because I've been thrown a lot of those characters. I mean, look at Hanami. When I first saw Hanami, I thought, what? But I loved it. So when I first was offered the role of Maria, I looked things up. I looked up the manga, and I wanted to see what it was all about. And I wanted to be sure that it wasn't a situation where Maria was sort of the joke, or or anything like that. I didn't want to be involved in that. I didn't want to be involved in the, she's all extremely overweight, and I didn't want it to be this big joke. But the fact that there was so much, she definitely wore the pants in that relationship. She definitely had a strong sense of self. She was really said and did. She actually, it's just funny, because their roles were sort of reversed when in their relationship versus his outside of it. So when I saw that she had so much strength, and then I also part of the original direction was wanting her to have sort of a young Kathleen Turner vibe, that deep, sultry, but something to really give her something, because she did have her younger self was very different, and she gained this weight because of illness and medications and things. So yeah. So I definitely did some research, and I often do even sometimes when I'm auditioning, I just want to know what I'm
getting yourself into type.
Yeah.
Are there any upcoming or ongoing animes that you're not a part of that you would love to take part in?
Oh man. I know that's there's one that I think is really cute, but I don't even think they film it here, so I don't even think it's a possibility. I'm putting the words, I think, in the wrong order. Spy Family X, is that, or X?
Oh yeah, that's definitely Spy X Family or something
Spy
like
X
that.
Family, that's what yeah. That I feel like there's some really awesome animes, or One Piece, or I mean, I kind of feel like I've been gifted so many cool roles just by chance, right? Just whatever it is, the universe gifting me these things that
already.
that I'm like, hey, I've been given these really cool roles that have been in some amazing, I'm so fortunate. So I almost it's kind of cool just to go with that, and not necessarily really force something or try to go in one direction, because I just feel like it's gone well so far. I've been able to be a part of some really cool projects.
That's what's up. So now we're coming to the end of the interview. Do you have your top 3 animes? Do you watch enough animes to have a top 3?
I honestly, like I said, my joy is being a part of the character work
itself.
and the culture, because again, I get to speak to people similar to my niece who has autism, and I I get to speak to all the fans. I get to connect with them. That was hugely important to me when I came into this. I wanted to be able to, because I saw it was a different sort of meaning for her. So that was mostly what it. But honestly, I have 2 young kids right now, and so we're not watching. I mean, we'll definitely watch some dubbed things, but there's definitely a lot of Bluey going on in my house, and I try to watch the projects that I'm involved in, of course, because I want to be up on that, and I also like to watch if the original Japanese is out before I go into record. I like to watch it beforehand so I can kind of get the vibe. So anyway, I know that's boring.
Hey, it's
not
the
the
truth,
most
though.
awesome
So,
answer, but yeah.
You might as well say your top 3 animes are the animes you're currently in.
Yeah.
JJK, Baki,
Yeah.
and Bleach.
Yep.
Let's
Yep.
do it. All right. So are there any upcoming conventions or projects that you're able to talk about?
Yes, I am going to be in Texas, at the Five Hills Anime Convention. Actually, I'm trying to think now. It's March 9th and 10th. I don't even remember the exact dates. It's basically the second weekend in March. So that one should be really fun. I'm actually going to be there with Wendy Lee, who was the director for Cyberpunk, and she does a lot of characters, but she will be there. So that will be fun. And then I will be at Gem State Comic Con, April. I gotta look at my calendar here because all the dates. That's going to be April 6th and 7th, and that's in Boise. And I'm from Idaho, so I'm really excited about that. So I've got nieces and nephews coming, and that's one that I'm super excited about. And then I'll be at SAC Anime in
That's one you
at the
probably
end of
take your
August.
niece to, right?
Yes, I'm hoping she comes down.
Go.
My nephew will be there, and 2 or 3 of my other nieces, and then my other niece is up in Seattle. So I don't know if she'll be able to make it down for this, but hopefully I'll be up in Seattle at some point, and I can.
Man, how cool of an auntie are you, huh?
Oh my gosh,
cool?
I don't know. I hope
auntie of the year every year, huh?
Oh my gosh, it's fun talking to them about the stuff. They definitely, especially the 2 that are super into it, ask me some really fun questions, and it's cool that I know some of the people that they love from Demon Slayer or whatever, So yeah, it makes it fun for me because my kids are too little to be into these are.
Hey, I got 2 little ones too, man, a 3 and a 4-year-old. So
yeah, gosh,
4 and a 5, they're growing already.
Yeah, exactly. It happens quick.
Yeah, it really does. All right, so before we let you go, we're gonna do One Has to Go. We're gonna ask you a series of questions. One has to go. As far as movies, horror or comedy, which one gotta go?
Oh, comedy. Horror is I've watched a ton of horror, and I will just be awake. Like when I watched The Ring, I was like afraid of my TV forever. Yeah.
All right, Nike or Jordan?
Nike or Jordan? Isn't that one and the same?
Sometimes in some aspects.
Okay. I'll say Jordan.
Hold on. Before we get to that one, the Avengers or the Justice League?
Avengers.
Superman or Batman?
Superman.
McDonald's or Burger King?
McDonald's.
Drake or J. Cole?
Drake.
Naruto or One Piece?
I would say Naruto.
All right.
And the reason for that is I know I have a lot of friends that are in it.
All links for all the conventions that Marie will be at in the next coming months will be in the description below if you want to purchase some tickets and get some signings. Thank you so much. You have a great day. And we'll see y'all next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This was Voice of the Heroes.
Sing it with me, pretty Cali, pretty Cali.